Gamereactor Nation? I am Magnus, and you're joining me here for another Gamereactor Quick Look, a video series here on Gamereactor where we take a look at some of the cool gadgets that we get right here in the office. Now, not too long ago, we actually had the NES Mini, a quite popular, small, sort of classic game console in miniature size here in the office, and we did a little video about it. But what we didn't know at the time was that this would indeed spark a trend that was already rolling, you might say, of console manufacturers making small, modernized versions of their consoles containing digital versions of the classic games of that era. We've already looked at the Jaguar 2600, the Atari Jaguar 2600, and now we're taking a look at the main competitor for the NES at that time, which was the Sega Mega Drive, which is, of course, we're hitting straight into the 16-bit era with classic games like Mortal Kombat and Sonic and all of the games that was born during this era and is now featured classics within the industry. This is called the Sega Mega Drive Classic Game Console, and it's not made by Sega themselves, but it is an officially sanctioned product and contains, I think, something along the lines of 40, 50 classic digital games, which is available via a hub menu overlay, which you can see right here. So pretty much the same as an NES Mini.
Same setup. I just want to underline that this is, of course, the classic model, and this is actually how the Pocket, the mini version, looks like.
So very much like the NES Mini, it is exactly the same principle, almost, that you have a power button and you have a reset button. One thing that people who have criticized the NES Mini, one thing that this does have is wireless controllers. That was also something that was on the Atari Jaguar 2600. That's very nice because, as you know, on the NES cord is something along the lines of half a meter, which is completely useless in today's world because you play on a huge 50-screen TV at home, you sit further away than half a meter, which basically means that you have to find, I don't know, a fat boy and sit like you did when you were a kid.
In front, get neck problems.
Exactly. So this is wireless, and that's great. But it has the same issue that the Jaguar 2600 is. This looks like it's an infrared, which means that if you all of a sudden tilt it up, then it won't respond.
No.
But at least it's wireless. At least it gives us something. But why this isn't Bluetooth-based like a normal modern controller is?
I'm guessing...
I have no idea. I'm guessing manufacturing costs.
Yeah, price point, keeping it down.
So, talking about price point, I think the NES Mini is about $100 if you want an extra controller with it. Maybe, I think, 70, 80, at least in that price. A bit more than you'd pay for a modern AAA game. This is about the same, $70, $80. You can get it on Amazon, which ships in the entire world. So, you should be good to go if you are in that NES Mini price range. And that's the same that also counts for the Atari Jaguar 2600. So let's jump into some of the games that is classics here. As you can see, we can briefly go through some of the headlines here. We have all three Golden Axe games, like modern, which is complete classics in my book.
I want to test something out, because one thing this console offers
that's true,
is the ability to, it supports the original controller.
That's something the NES Mini doesn't still.
Exactly.
And also, it supports the regular game cartridges. We tried to find some because we have a lot of classic game cartridges here in the office.
It has space for it.
Yeah, it has space for it. So if you have old gear, you can actually plug that in and use it. And we're pretty sure that it works. We're going to see whether it actually works.
Yeah. We need to go in the game, though, before I have
control. So, as you can see here, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, Phantasy Star 2 and 3, which is also like classic RPGs of its time, Shinobi, which is great, and here are all of the classic Sonic games, which is like Sonic the Hedgehog. I think we should start there. I don't think we can have two. And also like Vector Man in these games. Let's take a look at Sonic first, then we're going to go into a Mortal Kombat game and see whether we can play against each other.
Good.
Sega!
16 glorious bits.
Yeah.
Supporting great sound. 1991.
I already love this. But I was never a Sonic guy, so for me...
No. I think these games are a weird little rarity.
Yeah.
It's like... They seem so great, but not a lot going on. It's, that's the story of a lot of these classic games, really, right?
Yeah,
it loses charm.
There's certainly a charm to it. I completely agree. It's not that it doesn't have any charm. To me, it's more that this is already when we were in the 16-bit era. Maybe we should turn down the thing a notch.
Turn down the volume a little. Like this.
Oh no, I lost the ring.
And no, but yeah, you lose all rings.
Oh yeah.
And get pooped.
Oh, and there we are. Let's quickly jump out and see whether we can play 2. Yeah, it's exactly the same as the NES Mini. There is a reset button next to the power button on the actual controller, and then you're put back into the hub menu very, very easily. So you can, if a game becomes cumbersome, if you're getting annoyed with it, you can quickly jump out and do something else. Let's try Mortal Kombat 3 here and see.
See if this little controller still has a little life in it.
I know that it's supposed to have it, but I would still be pleasantly surprised if it actually worked. This is stuff that is like 25 years old now. It's insane for me just that it works. Well, we'll see, and I hope still that somehow we'll get the Mortal Kombat theme tune.
There is no knowledge that is not power.
Mortal Kombat.
I heard this game was actually made by some college students in America.
Really? Mortal Kombat 3 specifically, or the first one?
I think the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like, there's very simple animation. All the characters basically have the same cycles.
Yeah. You've been chosen to represent Earth. Yes, it's great. Let's skip over this so we can get into...
All of these humans have been chosen. I guess not all of them are humans. Okay, so I press start, or what do I do?
Do.
Do we have is this even compatible?
I don't know. I assumed that it was, yeah.
You know what? Let's try to flip that over. You can flip
maybe
a switch.
Maybe I'm going to. I'm player 2.
And I'll try to plug this in to the first one.
I think you just chose something.
Did I?
Try pressing start.
Oh no.
Oh no! I'm flipping back over to player 1.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, it worked with me. But it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
This is not a criticism of the product.
No.
This is just that it should work.
Not at all.
So there might be a problem also because that is an original. That's from the beginning of the 90s.
Probably had too much fun with this controller. Ah, sadly.
That is not you.
So no.
Oh, I'm getting my.
I'll try to do this.
Oh wait.
Nah, sadly someone had too much fun with this controller, but the console actually came...
well, I got my... What?
You got your ass kicked.
By Nightwolf.
I just want to reassure everyone that the console actually comes with 2 controllers. We just wanted to show you the classic controller setup, support. But it actually comes with the second one, equally wireless, just takes batteries.
Yes. And that's actually, that's also... This is slightly more expensive than the... This is slightly more expensive than the NES Mini, but that's also because it comes with 2 controllers in the actual box.
Yeah.
So, wait, player 1, player 2, press start to... Did you see continues with a K? I love that. Press start.
One thing the NES Mini had that this doesn't have and the Atari didn't have is Hdmi Output.
That is true. We actually had to fish, we couldn't get it.
That's actually why we have this camera set up right here, because we don't have any analog to digital converter cables in here.
It does the old sort of, if you remember the red-white cables, which is just basically like a picture cable and a mono sound cable.
RCA cables, yeah.
Yeah, and you can plug this into, if you have a SCART cable converter, most LED TVs still has SCART. Yeah. So you should be able to play it that way, or if you have the old red-white sound picture cables. But it is quite clear that at least getting the signal right is more cumbersome than with the NES Mini, which is, as you said, HDMI compatible. One thing you don't get in the one thing you do get in this package, though, is a power cable, which you don't actually get in the NES Mini because that you have to supply yourself. You have to supply the micro USB power charger yourself in order to get the console to work. Amazing, still.
Luckily, they are very abundant in our
Yeah. Well, if you have a phone, like an Android phone, it uses that. So
but a good thing to know if you just bought it and brought it to a hut all the way in the countryside or something.
So I have some stats right here that I just wanted to quickly. This has 80 games, digital games on the console itself. We can amongst them, of course, being Sonic, Mortal Kombat, all the stuff we mentioned before. There's a lot of stuff to go to attack here. 8 pages of games here. And it's available, I think, for something akin to $80, $90. It depends on a retailer. We found them on Amazon for something like that. So if you're in the NES Mini price bracket, this should very much fit in there. Same with the Atari Jaguar 2600. It's available on sale right now, and I think this is great for the people who want like a big beefy shot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because as we also discussed in the video with the Atari Jaguar 2600, when you were a kid, you played the console that was in your home. You couldn't afford all of them because they were expensive.
Very expensive,
if you had the NES, then you can buy the NES Mini and get your nostalgia that way. But if you had a Sega Mega Drive, then you can get your nostalgia this way.
Yeah.
So it's basically based on what you had in your home at the time. So if you are really missing the good old Sega Mega Drive days, now here is a very easy way of re-experiencing that. So,
plus, of course, just want to repeat, it supports your old games, the original games, and it supports the original controllers.
Yeah.
Provided you hadn't hit
messed them up,
in the face with them and destroyed it.
Yeah. So stay tuned for more quick look videos in the future. Also, if you had a Atari Jaguar 2600 in your home, we also have a video up of that, and of course the NES Mini also. So thank you so much for joining me, Thomas.
It's my pleasure.
Stay tuned for more videos in the future. Bye.